Okay, and then I'll say, let me watch the trailer. And then I watch the trailer, and I'm like, my literal insides like sunk out my butt because
Welcome back to Where's My Coffee podcast. I'm Perris.
I'm Georgia, and this is episode 18.
How you doing, girl?
I'm better. We're 4 weeks in. Well, yeah, 4 weeks into my recovery of my broken arm.
Mm-hmm.
I have my final, not my final, but my next follow-up appointment after my CT scan to see if I need surgery.
Wait, I thought the CT scan...
Well, the CT scan results came in. Mm-hmm. I entered them into ChatGPT to understand what the heck it meant.
Right.
And per ChatGPT, not an actual orthopedic surgeon, which, you know, same but different. Anyway, ChatGPT said that it's not likely surgery is needed.
Okay,
but obviously I still need an opinion from a doctor. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I've got to get that appointment, and fingers crossed I don't need surgery, because if I need surgery, I'm traveling back to Australia to get it done. I'm not even joking.
Okay, so that's
like that's actually factual.
Would you like me to come with you?
I mean, if it made sense.
Yeah, for
we
sure.
We could do it. But it probably will cost less for me to travel back home to Australia, have surgery, and come back than it would to get surgery in America with insurance.
You do realize that after your surgery, you're not going to be able to fly straight away. Like, there's a recovery period.
I don't think it's a very invasive surgery. Like, I don't think they're going to cut me open. It's just going to be little pinholes, and they're going to do little cameras and grab it. They're like little tiny 7mm pieces of bone. Okay. It's not a very invasive. Like, so I will have to hold off a little bit.
So they're not going to like put you under.
Oh, I mean, it might just be local.
Is it anesthesia?
It might just be local anesthetic. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's an invasive surgery.
Okay.
The recovery time obviously increases more, but yeah, I would have to wait a little bit before getting on a plane again. Yes. But not like months. It would be like a couple days after.
Oh, a couple days.
I'm assuming, because it's not invasive. I'm not being cut open.
All right. She says it's not invasive. All right.
I said that like 6 times. I'm telling myself it would be fine. Yeah. So yeah, that's the current update with life.
And you still got you're able to...
I have so much more movement. I think last episode I had 110 and like 30 degrees. Mm-hmm. Now I'm about 130... and maybe, honestly, probably like 25. The bending isn't getting as easy. Like, it's really hard for me to bend this way for some reason. It kind of just gets stuck, which is a sign that the bones need to be removed. Anyway.
And she's always trying to show me, like, her updated, like, flexibility and things like that. And I don't do well with bones. And every time she shows me, I'm just like, all right.
Gives you the heebie-jeebies?
Yeah. Well, that's good.
I want to tell the people a story that we encountered... I think maybe just last week, that brought me to tears, and just like complete like shock and disbelief. So one morning, Perris was off to work in the wee hours. I think he left out at like 5 a.m. in the morning. And I woke up. I always like to check his location, see where he is, if he's like driving, so I can call him, just to see how his morning's going.
She likes to spy on me.
No. No, it's all out of respect, because if I see that you're at the event, there's no point in calling you because you can't answer. I do when you're clearly driving on the road.
True.
So I do that, and his location is in the river. And I'm like, that can't be right. So I close out the Find My iPhone or find My whatever app. Go back in, still just showing he's in the river. And I'm like, okay. And it's right by a bridge too. It's like, this is not normal. So I call him, and it like doesn't go straight to voicemail, but it doesn't go all the way through. So I'm freaking out, and I'm like, okay. And then I go again. I think I called you 3 times, and it kept doing the same thing, as if like my mind literally went to the phone is in the water and it's like malfunctioning how it's going to answer. So I kept refreshing his location, and it wouldn't change it. It said that his location has been there for 16 minutes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if he's been here for 16 minutes, no one's going to really know or have alerted me that he's like fallen off the bridge and is in the river, like drowning. And I'm freaking out. I was like, okay, do I call someone at work and just like see where he is, like who he works with, because I have a couple of their numbers, like literally freaking out. And I do one call and it goes through. And my literal insides like sunk out my butt, because I know that's so like insane, but like I literally felt ill because like all of the waves of like the worst case scenario felt so real. And then when I heard your voice, I was like, oh, Perris, oh my God, you're alive. It was so traumatizing. And I hadn't had a coffee. I was barely awake. I'm shaking, thinking he's fallen in the river. And I was like, that was horrible. I never want to experience anything like that again.
Yeah.
So that was my horrifying story to tell everyone today.
Yeah. So, I mean, more context. I'm at work.
What actually happened, and where were you actually?
So we were at a elementary school serving coffee to the teachers and parents, and it was about 100 guests. So we were knee deep in service. And I had noticed that she called once, and I said, "Oh, okay, I'll call her back once we die down." And then she called me again, and I'm like, "All right, it's about 8 a.m." She's calling me back to back, so something's wrong. I don't know what it is, but like, I'm again PTSD. Whenever she calls more than once, I'm expecting the worst.
I also texted you, and it wasn't delivering.
I didn't see the text,
and I was like, oh my gosh, this man's phone is literally in the river. Like nothing's going through.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
Yeah. So when I call her, I'm like, hey. She's like, hey. I'm like, you good? She's like, are you good? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? She was like, Perris, I was trying to locate you, and your location was in the river. So yeah, she started crying, and it made me feel like, oh wow. Like, you ever have those moments where you just are yet again reassured that your partner really cares about you, you know?
It was traumatizing. It really was. Like, I don't think I've ever experienced that feeling of like, I don't know, just like, I just felt empty of like, this can't be real.
It was surreal.
Like, I literally was pacing and shaking, and our cat Brock hates when I pace, and he was getting stressed out, and he's meowing.
Picks up on stress.
Yeah, and he just was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But it was bad. It was bad. But then once I realized what happened, it quickly turned around, and I was like, wow, okay, that was kind of a funny moment.
Man.
He's like, I actually have to call you back because like,
we're
really busy right now. And I was like, no, you're fine. Do what you need to do. I literally just had a heart attack.
Yeah.
That was scary.
I mean, to segue into more morbid.
Morbid than that?
Yes. The recent death of Gene Hackman and his wife.
Oh my gosh. And his dog?
Yeah. Oh, and his dog. Yeah. Yeah.
In the closet?
So for those who don't know what we're talking about, legendary actor Gene Hackman and his wife were found dead, and their dog were found dead in their home in separate rooms.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So they found the dog in a closet.
Oh my gosh.
I think Gene was in a separate room, maybe an office, and his wife was found in the bathroom.
Oh my goodness.
What makes this really weird is the fact that detectives had said there was no forced entry, no sign of burglary, no sign of
carbon monoxide.
Home invasion. Yeah, and that was a thing too.
Yeah.
Oh, there was no sign of foul play with the bodies. You know what I'm saying? And they said, well, this could only mean that carbon dioxide was in the air. So they tested the bodies for carbon dioxide, tested negative for that. And it's they found their two other dogs who were alive.
Interesting.
I recently read they were in,
like, outside somewhere.
Yeah, like with a caretaker or something like that, which is weird. I think that's what I read, but yeah, there was no foul play, no nothing. So then it begs the question of what happened, and they still haven't figured out
the cause of death.
Yeah, the cause of death. To me, this looks like a murder.
Oh, you think it's 100% a murder?
I think it's a murder.
So he's a bit older, right? Like he's in his 80s or 90s.
He was 95.
95, and she's younger, like in her 60s.
60s, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the incredible thing. 95.
Yeah, he was living a good life. So I was talking to Mum about this, and she mentioned how there are people out there who, once they get to a certain age, they choose to, pass on and just embrace that they've lived the life that they want to live.
Yeah.
Right. And to ensure that the person who helps take care of that isn't charged for like murder.
Right.
There's all these like contracts signed in place, and they do it like in a very like almost like euthanizing like a dog or something.
Yeah.
Similar like act, right?
Okay.
So they do this when they're a little bit older, and then I was like, but that's crazy. And the mum was like, it is even more crazy because the woman is like still so young.
Yes.
Like, why would she also be a part of that?
Yes.
So it's like, were they doing that and they just wanted to go out together, or was there foul play and they just haven't found the foul play? It's a little eerie.
Very.
And I think there are probably going to be some conspiracy theories coming out of it if they haven't already.
Well, yeah, that's all it is right now. It's conspiracy.
Oh, yeah, because they didn't actually know the cause.
This looks exactly like the murder documentaries, the murder mystery shows and movies and things like that. They said they found her where she was at. There was an open pill bottle with scattered pills.
Like almost placed. Interesting.
I'm not trying to be insensitive. This is just where my mind goes, especially when they haven't discovered much.
Yeah.
And there was a heater placed by her head. There was talks about the heater being in a different location, and it was actually placed there.
Oh, like it was a portable heater?
Yeah. Check this out.
I heard the body warm.
To speed up the decomposition process. Their bodies were unfortunately found already in the mummification process.
Yeah, because they had been there for like 2 weeks, right?
Isn't that insane?
Oh my gosh, that's so sad.
So there's a couple things
I hope the family and friends do find peace and answers of what happened.
What happened? I mean, the things that stick out to me is the dog being in the closet.
That's bizarre. And I know it, like, obviously it's so horrible, the situation of these two humans in the same situation, but like, it's like obscure. Do you know what I mean?
It's kind of random.
I wonder if, I don't know if this is a thing, and this may be so like, of course not.
Yeah.
I wonder if because they were there for so long, traces of the carbon monoxide had left their body by the time that they found them. Or do you think they already know that is like possible?
I'm no expert.
I wonder how long carbon monoxide stays in the body.
Even if you, let's say, the people that found them, wouldn't they? This might sound really dumb too. Can you smell carbon dioxide?
No, it's a.
I know it's a gas.
It's an odorless gas.
It's an odorless gas.
I'm
I did
pretty
not know
sure.
it was odorless.
Hold up, let me fact check this.
Because while she does that, there was just, again, the dog being in the closet, and the other two dogs that they had weren't there. To me, the dog being in the closet seems intentional. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can confirm. Carbon monoxide is an odorless gas.
Isn't odorless.
It
okay.
is.
Okay.
It is.
It is. Got it.
So you can't smell it.
Got it. Okay. Well, then whoever found them wouldn't have been able to smell it. Because the only reason why I asked is the people that discovered the bodies, would they have smelt remnants of it, or
no.
you know what I mean? Does carbon dioxide also do things to...
Wait, is it monoxide or dioxide?
Monoxide.
Okay,
monoxide.
Okay,
Monoxide poisoning.
Have we been saying monoxide?
We've been saying
carbon
dioxide. I said carbon dioxide.
It's carbon monoxide.
Carbon monoxide.
Okay, which is what I was saying, but when you just said dioxide, it threw me off.
So monoxide is it's still odorless?
Mm-hmm. It's called the silent killer.
And it's a poison too.
Mm-hmm.
I also heard that they might have had a poison that took some time to kick in.
But they would still have found that, wouldn't they?
But then it's like, would they have both died at the same time, the exact same time?
It looks like that levels during autopsies to determine if CO poisoning was contributing factor to death. It is important to note that the post-mortem levels can be affected by decomposition and other so it sounds like the CO levels can be affected through decomposition.
Okay.
Which means if they had been there for a long time, they might not be traceable anymore.
Yeah, especially them being in the mummification.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
This is a mystery that I'm going to be glued to.
No, absolutely.
They were talking about how if the other pets that were still alive, if the pets found the bodies, they would.
Mom was saying that too. Like it could have gone so bad.
It could have gone. Yeah, they would have started eating them.
Yeah, because there would have been no food for them.
And my thing is,
why is the caretaker there but not doing anything about it? Or did the caretaker find them?
The caretaker, no, I don't know if it was like the housemaid or something like that. They didn't hear from them in like 2 weeks.
Oh, so then they checked looking. On.
But my thing is, why the dog and not all?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what makes it so.
That's
spooky.
what throws this whole. Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
speaking of spooky.
Oh.
That reminds me. You always say my wife. So I'm going to say my husband.
You got to say
Perris.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, my husband, Perris. He loves to watch scary movies.
Oh, yes.
And it takes a lot for me to, one, look at the trailer and think, oh, this is going to be a good scary movie. And two, that the trailer basically just showed the whole movie in the trailer. So one night he was like, okay, can we please watch something spooky? Mm-hmm. So we ended up watching The Quiet Place 2. No.
Yeah, or Day 1. Quiet Place Day 1.
Quiet Place Day 1, which is technically the third one.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, whatever. I did the first one. I don't think I did the second one, but I'll do the third one. Whatever. We'll make it work. Anyway, so we're watching it. We've got all the lights off. We've just got like one little lamp on. It's really eerie. It's the vibe.
Yeah.
Tell me why we are maybe 15 minutes into this movie and I hear, and I'm like, absolutely not. You're making me watch this movie and you're already falling asleep.
Oh my God.
But the craziest thing is like, it's not even that you always fall asleep in movies. It's just that you have a bad habit of like, if there's just like silence and like an aura and like that kind of ASMR sort of feeling, which that movie is, you just fall asleep.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't keep his eyes open. So here I am, like constantly nudging him every time I hear a breath that sounds like a snore, hoping he's awake. And he's just like, I don't even think he watched any of that movie.
I remember bits and pieces. It's all foggy.
It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. Like I would never watch it again. But also, I feel like it could have been cut in half and still given the same effect.
They honestly could have stopped at the second one.
There was just so much silence.
Yeah, and that's what was killing me. So
it was so bad. I was so frustrated.
There was some. I don't always fall asleep in movies because when we go to the movie theater, I don't fall asleep.
You're pretty good
That's something
with that.
you said.
Yeah,
That's something you said. I just want to correct it.
It's
when we're
You're
here at home.
it.
When we're here at home, I don't know what it is. I think we wait, or I wait too long to throw the movie on.
Well, because you always want it to be super dark, to have the ambiance.
Yeah, that thing. I'm never watching A Quiet Place again at home because I won't make it through.
Yeah, it was so frustrating.
Yeah.
And then we got to the end and I was like, I could turn this off and he wouldn't even know. But now I'm so like invested in like finishing this through. I'm like, whatever, I'll just watch it. And I'm just like, I can't believe.
And she won't let me fall asleep. Like, you know how,
well,
like,
no, well, I'm not going to let you fall asleep because it's a movie that you wanted to watch.
Yeah, true.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's my love language. I like watching movies with my wife. Watching movies, movie time. It's so nostalgic and it's my love language. So,
I don't think that classifies as a love language.
All right.
Like, if I technically, like...
Technically, no, but it's...
Your love language is quality time.
My love
What'd you say?
language is physical touch and affirmation. And I think my third is quality time.
Okay.
I would say my third's quality
Yeah.
time. So yeah, I just love it's my favorite pastime. You know what I mean? Is watching movies.
It's how you're able to like have that like bonding
Exactly.
experience.
And I'm like, I might see a dope preview for a scary film, and I'm like, babe, you want to watch this? She's like, this is what the is a no right off the bat.
Okay, and then I'll say, let me watch the trailer. And then I watch the trailer, and I'm like,
So our rule is if we watch the trailer, we'll only if it captivates us. If it captivates us in 15 seconds, we stop the trailer and we just immediately watch the movie. So
just all trailers these days, I feel like show you the whole freaking movie.
Yeah, the whole
especially, I feel like especially scary movies.
Yeah. But you have this habit now where I'll show you the trailer and you be like, oh, I feel like I watched the whole movie. And I'm like, man, it's not that serious. No, you didn't.
Sometimes I really have to be in the mood to watch a certain movie.
But you're never in the mood to watch a movie.
That's not always true.
Like we might be chilling. And I'm like, oh, baby, you want to throw on a movie? You're like,
You know what it is? It's the commitment to the length of time, knowing I have to sit there for that long.
oh
Do you know what I mean?
You remember what we used to do in college?
We used to watch a lot of movies.
On your laptop.
I know. I think my attention span has lessened.
You were just trying to woo me then. That's probably
Absolutely. No, I think my attention span has like lessened just a little bit.
Okay.
But also I think because I have like sometimes busy things to do.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I just want to do my own thing. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
But we have
But if I'm like, hey, you want to do Love Island? You
I
want to
know,
do
but
Traitors?
that's the
You're
thing.
like,
Like that's like something that we can easily bond on. Like
no, we do
Love
be bonding
Island,
on
Traitors.
that. Yeah, for sure. We do.
The Office, we'll throw that on.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that on.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple. I like TV shows because we can be like, oh, 20 minutes left. Let's just finish this episode and then we'll move on.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't do that with the movie. It's like committed like 2.5 hours.
I guess you were really never a movie watcher.
I mean,
That's probably
that's
what
the
it
thing.
was.
It's very specific movies that I have to watch.
What is your love language, babe?
You know, that's a great question. I would say quality time. I know that sounds hypocritical, but like me going to like a coffee shop with you, let's go for a walk. Come walk with me.
Yeah.
Let's sit on the couch and literally like not talk the whole time, but you're like literally next to me.
All right, bet.
Do you know what I mean?
No, for sure. I love doing that too.
I would say quality time. I don't think words of affirmation.
No, you don't do good. Do too well.
What's my
with words.
love language?
Your second one?
Don't they say that you have like you have like separate love languages of like what you like giving and what you like receiving?
I don't know.
I might be making that up.
What's your second one?
Do you have to have two?
Okay. I had 3, I thought maybe.
You're just so needy.
No, I think your second one might be receiving gifts.
I don't get any gifts, so
Why'd you do that? That was so in our whole timeline of our relationship, of our marriage, I've never gotten you anything.
No, you have.
Okay.
When's the last time you've gotten me a gift?
Let me think. A Twix. Let me give you that chocolate.
Which you shouldn't be doing because I don't work out anymore.
You do what you can.
I do what I can. I'm trying.
Speaking of Twix.
Did you get me a Twix?
No.
Oh.
No. You did buy some white chocolate.
I did. So in Publix, I'm talking to you as if you know. In Publix, they
don't
have this.
Publix up north.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Do they?
Acme.
Oh yeah, true. Good point. Well, Publix, the southern grocery store.
Yeah.
They have this little international section, where they have. It's actually the English section, but we have very similar chocolates. So they have Tim Tams, they have Mars bars, they have Milky bars, they have Bounties, they have Violet Crumble, Maltesers, like literally like some of the classics. And it brings me so much joy walking past there every time and grabbing it. And I've also noticed that the Mars bar barcodes don't work. And so every single time I go, they have to scan it in. And I'm
Wait,
pretty sure.
You know what you can do, right?
What?
Sometimes the scanner won't work, but if you type it in, you can type it in.
Oh,
yourself.
I'm allowed to type it myself. I thought you needed someone to do it for you.
No, you can type it in.
Oh, okay. Actually, no. So she typed it in, but then barcode was invalid, and then she had to override it and put the price in.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's going to the point.
You're the only one who goes there and buys
That's what
Mars
I'm saying.
bars.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that actually eats them.
Yeah.
So like, they've clearly not like registered that this is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I go there, I always have an issue checking out the stupid Mars bar.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, as long as I get you Mars bar, I guess that counts as, contributing to your, love.
I never said my love language is, wait, what did you call it?
Receiving chocolate.
No.
Receiving gifts.
Just receiving chocolate.
Is it gift giving and receiving gifts? Is that
I think that's separate.
Two different. Okay. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just realized how janky my nails are.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing.
Since you've been down one arm.
I know. Yikes.
That's all right. Yeah.
Speaking of relationship advice, I do feel like there are people who give terrible relationship advice that people need to stop believing.
Okay.
And it may be a little controversial, maybe a little bit more of a hot take.
Okay.
But there are like two things. Well, I guess just one. I'll just do one.
You can do one?
Just in case I offend too many people. Mm-hmm. But I feel like we should stop telling couples that marriage is your next option and the option you have to go with once you have a baby.
Okay, you're going to have to go deep. Well, it's vague.
Okay, so basically, hypothetically.
Yeah.
You're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Boyfriend and girlfriend.
Let's put ourselves in this situation. Right.
Okay.
We're boyfriend and girlfriend.
We're boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah. And I find out I'm pregnant.
Yes, ma'am.
We've been together a good amount of time.
Mm-hmm. What's a good amount of time, though?
A couple years, a year or two.
Okay.
A month. It doesn't matter. The time.
She said a month.
Okay, maybe if it's a little bit longer period of time, maybe it differs a little bit. But the bottom line is, we've been together, but I find out that I'm pregnant. Mm-hmm. I feel like we need to stop providing the advice to make the couple need to get married because the baby is now in the picture.
Got it.
Because if that couple isn't 100% invested in that relationship, mm-hmm. I think in the long run that child is going to be raised in a broken family.
Yeah.
And I think that there is don't get me wrong, obviously raising a child as a single mother, father, whatever the situation is going to be more challenging. But I do think if you come to like a mutual understanding that like we don't have to get married, and if this relationship doesn't work, we know that we're going to put this child first, mm-hmm. but like we don't have to put marriage on this situation because the baby is there.
So marriage shouldn't be mandatory once a child is conceived.
Yeah, because like I know there's a lot of like religious reasons why people do that, mm-hmm. and it's talked about in the Bible and that sort of. Is it talked about in the Bible?
I mean,
like the beliefs of the order and everything.
Yeah, no, for
so
sure.
So I do understand that there's that aspect too, and like I respect that, but I do feel like there's if there is a chance that relationship isn't going to be successful and be like a life partner for you, like don't make marriage the next thing.
Yeah. No,
make the next thing helping grow this child, mm-hmm. stay as a relationship, because obviously I'm assuming everything's still good.
Yeah.
But if you guys fall apart and you're not compatible but the baby's there and now the baby's a little bit older and then you guys decide you need to break up, then that's okay. And you're able to be in the child's life from two different sides.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Does that make sense?
It makes, I see what you're saying. Like, I do believe that, two parents can coexist,
raising the child
can raise the child together
separately
without the label of marriage. I do think that is possible. Absolutely. I do think that there is a level of understanding.
There's a challenge to it, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, as long as both parents are involved.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I guess this is a bit of a different situation. This is like specifically for a couple that is together, has a baby that's before marriage, which there's nothing wrong with it. But I'm more saying specifically that once the baby comes in the picture, don't feel the pressure that I have to marry this person now.
Yeah.
Like, because they may not be your life partner.
Yeah.
Yes, you now have a baby with them, but now that's just the father or mother of your child.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially if marriage wasn't in the talks prior to.
Exactly.
And
now, if there was marriage in the talks and it's just like progressed, we should let's do this a little earlier. Okay, cool, fine, different.
And are you talking about unplanned pregnancy?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Like when it's come out of nowhere. Because I don't know. I think about like children and being raised in a broken household and what that can do for them as they grow up. And like kind of just like setting that example. And I wonder if that would be the same outcome in the long run if that couple didn't get married.
I mean, I have a friend who went through a similar situation like this, and they ended up in divorce because it, like you said, down the line, it just didn't work.
Yeah,
it didn't work at all.
And there's nothing. I think that's the other thing. There's nothing wrong with realizing that they're not your life partner, but staying with them just because the baby is there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because then the child gets older, and then like your parents are like not in love, and you don't see what love is and how you should treat one another, and it's just like a trickle effect. And like, even though you think you're doing the right thing of like, I want to set a good example. I want to make sure that they're living with two parents. I want to make sure that, like,
which is very important.
Oh my God, so important and
important.
valid. But I do think sometimes the negatives can outweigh those positives in this situation.
Yeah.
And not, obviously there's so many different variables and like why the marriage happens when it probably shouldn't have, or, like I'm going to respect like people's different scenarios, but like point of the advice that we need to stop believing that has to happen.
You got it.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every situation is different. I respect that. But just like, let's not pressure people to think that is the next step or has to be the next step.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Nah, yeah, I know what you mean for sure.
Like, let's get married knowing that we were going to do this with or without a baby in the picture. You know?
Yeah. I follow.
And if you tick all those boxes and you were like, hey, I wanted to marry you anyway, maybe like 3 years down the line, then that's great.
Yeah.
But if, like, as you said, if marriage was never on the cards, then maybe let's raise this child. Let's see where this relationship takes us and then go from there.
Yeah. I respect that. I mean, that I do, there's a lot of things within that are important.
Absolutely.
It's gray. It's not black and white. It is gray.
I get that. I think where it stems from is like that back in the day, right? Like before our time.
Yeah.
It was like frowned upon having a child before marriage.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it started from, right?
Yeah.
And then I think over time, it's like, obviously there's more leniency and like less like shame, which that's what it was back then.
Yeah.
So it's like directed differently, but it's still kind of present to a degree. Not as harsh, but it's still present.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like everyone and everything deserves to be in a happy family.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. This question or this topic, I should say, is kind of like, hearing you say that, I'm trying to think of what terrible advice, because all advice isn't created equal. Some advice may help you.
Yeah.
Some advice may help me.
Yeah.
Or may not help you, may not help me. I think some terrible advice, it kind of made me think of a situation a couple years ago where somebody that was in my life at the time I kind of asked me, am I rushing, getting married? You know what I mean?
Oh, wait, towards me?
No, towards me. Am I rushing getting married?
Like us?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, wait, I know this story.
Yeah.
Why am I acting surprised?
I was.
It took me a second.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and it took me aback. Like it took me. I was just like, kind of who are we to tell somebody else that they're rushing into something, especially we had all of our ducks in order. Mm-hmm. We knew that this is what we were ready for.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything that we weren't and little did they know, or they should have known, that we were already eloped 2 years prior. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like this was rushing to have the ceremony.
Have the ceremony, you know what I'm saying?
And make it like publicly.
Yeah.
Known.
Yeah.
Because just a quick little tidbit, we went to the courthouse, got married. We're planning our ceremony for 2020, which would have been 3 years later of getting married.
Yeah.
And that's when we like officially announced the year prior to 2020 that we were getting married.
Yeah.
But we were actually already married.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was kind of, so there's a song Chris Brown has, and I probably mentioned this before, but he has a song, one of my favorite songs, called Young Love. And within that song, it's just basically saying like, I may be young, but I know what I'm feeling. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I think, terrible advice that we got to stop is, it's just like, no one else should be able to dictate you being ready, you being in love, you having the certain feeling. You know what I'm saying? You will know when you know. No one else is going to know but you. Like, you know what I mean? And it's different from, people giving you wisdom, giving you the right advice. But I think there's a line. I think sometimes
it's a sign of projecting.
Yeah, definitely a sign of projecting.
Do you know what I mean?
Especially when I'm old enough to make my own decisions.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have those in our lives who we do go to for advice. But again, the unsolicited advice. You know what I'm saying?
But do you think that's kind of contradicting what I said then? Like, or is that the same sort of thing?
I respect you for asking that. I don't think, again, it's not contradicting because
because I guess the unsolicited advice is saying like, hey, you're having a baby, you need to get married. It's so like, don't step into my situation.
We're not.
Give me this. So I guess it is same but different.
Yeah, we may have had this child.
Yeah.
Or may.
But don't force.
But don't force the process.
This journey on me.
Yeah.
So kind of same thing, just like different situations. So I think as a whole, the overlying statement is,
the thing was terrible advice that we need to stop, like,
believing.
Yeah. Terrible relationship advice that we should stop believing.
Yeah. Okay, so then I guess a cliche one for you is, what about happy wife, happy life? What do we think about that one?
I never really.
We say it as a joke. Well, I say it as a joke to you.
Yeah. But every time you say it, I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, well,
what about me?
At the expense of my happiness?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that whole thing, happy wife, happy life, it's like, well, someone's happiness has to be jeopardized for the other one to be happy. You know what I mean? Or has to be downgraded for, you know what I mean? I think it's just, happy wife, happy home, or whatever that saying is. But I think that both the husband and the wife should be happy.
Absolutely.
And it should be her obligation to make her husband happy, just like it's vice versa,
Yeah. I will say it is kind of fun to play that little.
No, but it's
always like a joke.
Yeah, it always is a joke, and
with an underlining meaning, but like always a joke.
Yeah. Nah, my goal is to always make you happy. So.
Okay, actually, then I've got another one for you.
What is it?
It's not really bad advice, but it's just like what people say. What are your thoughts on when men refer to their wife as the wife. Like
As the wife?
Yeah. I've got to ask the wife.
This might be the wrong. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it.
You don't?
No, because I don't see any harm in saying that. Like if
The
I'm
wife, not
with my
wife?
guys,
You're going to
because
say the wife,
not all the time. No,
but you said the wife.
I don't even think I said the wife, but I've heard other men say it, and I don't think
You
anything.
don't feel
of
like
it.
it's a little icky?
No, like because they're
Interesting.
saying, yeah, let me get. I just gotta ask the wife. You know what I'm saying?
See, I view that as like I'm an object, the wife, not my wife. I've got to ask wifey.
Huh?
I got to see if my wife wants to do
Maybe
this.
it's just man brain. I'm trying to see
I don't
how
know.
that.
I just feel like the wife is like
It's the
I'm
same
like
as
parenting you or something.
I'm gonna pick up the kids, not my
No,
kids.
see, that's different. Ooh, I don't know.
Why is that different?
I'm going to pick up the kids.
Yeah.
No, because the kids is grammatically correct. The wife, it's my wife, not, I mean, my kids, I'm confused now.
You are the wife.
But I feel like the wife, like, I've got to ask the wife. That isn't grammatically correct.
I
I've got to
think
ask
it is.
I'll ask the kids. That's grammatically correct.
I think the wife is grammatically correct as well.
I've got to ask the wife.
I gotta ask the wife. That's the subject.
I feel like that's like a slang way to address.
Do you think it's degrading?
Yeah, a little bit.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
tell me why. Because I honestly,
I just said it. It makes you
innocently,
feel
I
like
don't. I don't.
Object.
Okay. Well, the intent, if I ever said that, was not to.
I don't think you have. I'm just curious if would you ever? You clearly don't, so that's not your
But I've heard
wording.
people say it, and it never raises a bell to me. It's just like
I don't know.
I thought it was like another. I gotta ask the wife.
See, but that just feels like I'm just gonna ask the wife. She's in control. I gotta ask. See, no, I don't see it as a queen. I see it as she's on one. I gotta ask the wife.
But baby, you might be putting that inflection on that though.
No, but that's the point of it. Like the like
she said no. That's
the only way that it is like degrading or feels like you're like claiming me as an object is by using the like that intensity behind it.
Interesting.
Because I do feel like there are men out there that say that.
I don't think us men look at it like that.
Well, you've never said it.
But I've heard it.
I know, but you wouldn't ever repeat it. Like whenever you're talking about me, you're saying my wife or wifey. Like that doesn't even think to come out of your brain because it just doesn't feel natural to you.
If I was talking to somebody and I worded it as, so I was talking to the wife the other day.
That feels weird, right?
That does feel weird.
Yeah.
But if someone asked me a question, I got to ask the wife first.
See, I hate that. I've got to ask my wife.
Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Just a thought.
Good question.
Came across my brain and
okay.
I was like,
I like.
Interesting.
I mean,
I've never asked you it.
I'm not fighting you on it.
No.
It's
I've
just,
also never heard you say it, so it's like not a big deal.
Yeah,
like
I do always say my wife or just wifey.
Yeah.
Or wife.
Yeah.
I gotta ask wife.
You've never said I've got to ask wife.
I gotta ask the wife. I gotta ask.
You're
wife.
like second guessing everything you say.
You know what's crazy? The other night, when we were trying to think about if we were going out after the staff meeting,
you said the wife.
So I said I gotta call my wife.
And see what she wants to do.
Yeah, I said if I may have said depending on what, maybe I did say depending on what my wife says. Or depending on what the wife says. No, I said my wife.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like the wife feels just so like
unnatural.
You're like detaching like the relationship between the two of you.
Okay, where have you heard this?
I heard people talk about it, and a while ago, like months ago, and I was like, yeah, I agree. Like the wife just doesn't feel. I can't remember where I heard it, but I've never heard anyone say it.
Okay.
But yeah, I just thought I'd get your gears turning. Clearly it has.
Yeah,
and now you're confused how you address me to other people.
No. I people know how I address you.
No, good.
I just got a double standard. I'm thinking of some questions to ask you now.
No, I'm coming with all the questions. You normally come with all the questions.
I know.
I'm hitting you hard.
Interesting. Okay. And I think I brought this up to you. Do you think that saying my partner is not putting a label or acknowledging your husband or wife correctly? Because partner is so vague. Partner can mean anything.
Are you asking, like would I ever address you as my partner?
You used to until I kind of said, hey, I'm not sure I like that.
I never saw anything wrong with it, but I can see, because I guess there's like tiers of like what.
Yeah, my partner to me, maybe this is my traditional brain, but my partner just doesn't, it doesn't put the correct, like if you're addressing your
title,
husband
almost,
and oh, this is my partner, it's like
you want to say husband.
I'd rather be introduced as your husband than your partner.
It's been a minute since I've said partner, but I feel like I was saying partner. I can't remember why. Were we married when I was saying partner?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And this was...
It feels weird saying it now.
Yeah.
Back then it didn't.
And it was like a year or two after we got married.
Yeah, so maybe I was just getting used to the fact that you're my husband.
Yeah, and that's... Yeah. Okay. All right. I just want to... Yeah.
So... Mm-hmm. This is something that I don't know if we were actually going to talk about this episode or not.
Yeah.
But when we come up with like certain like topics to like talk through, I had an idea to figure out like what our warning signs would be. And
that was funny.
We really tried. Well, actually, no, let me rephrase that. Perris really tried to create warning signs for me, and I was able to create all these warning signs. And so I don't know if we were going to continue to talk about it, but I kind of wanted to bring it up a little bit.
You got two for me, just
really
like
good
that.
Ones. My two were don't talk to me if I'm not talking to you.
So that's the warning sign I would have.
He would be wearing that. Don't talk to me if I'm not talking to you.
Okay.
Implying that if he's in his head and he's got a mood, don't try and talk to him because you ain't going to get a good response.
I'm not a mean person.
No, you're not mean. You're just like, you wear your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah.
So if you're going through something or if you're like not in the mood to talk to people, you'll let people know to not talk to you by not talking to anyone.
My shortness is...
You'll be very like tunnel vision, like
and
in
people
your mode.
are...
Yeah,
I don't know what... It's not fair. It's... Can I just address this real quick?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
It's kind of not fair to me sometimes. Because if I am in the mood... First of all, I didn't know I present myself as this super overly energetic person. I never knew that I in my eyes, I think that I'm this quiet sometimes, introspective maybe,
Sure,
who loves to talk, but I always thought I presented myself as like I'm not going to speak unless spoken to type of person.
No, I won't speak unless spoken to.
That is true. So when people talk to me and I give a short answer, they immediately think that something is wrong.
And most of the time there is something wrong.
Okay, that's that. Yeah, unfortunately, you might be right.
So
Hold on, let me say this one last point really quick.
Okay.
Now it's to the point people preemptively think something is wrong. So when I come in the room, someone's like, "You good?" And I'm like,
they're vibe checking.
Yes.
You know what it is? So you have a hard time of masking like what's going on in your head or your emotions.
Yeah.
So you project it out for other people to see. Even if you think you're being like poker face and like you're not projecting it out, you're literally wearing like neon lights showing I'm in a mood.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, if I'm not talking, don't talk to me sort of vibe. Because it'll just like save everyone from trying to address you while you're in a mood. Not even a mood, just like in your head. Yeah. Let's say that. Because it's not like
in a mood.
Being moody. Maybe, okay. And then the other one that I got was, sorry, tread lightly. I'm sensitive.
And why?
Just because you overthink things a lot.
Yeah.
And I think treading lightly or like speaking like patiently and thorough and like in detail really helps your brain navigate what that person is trying to say to you.
True.
Because I think if it's like vague or if it's like you feel as though there's another reason why something's happening, you turmoil and create a whole like 3-hour movie of what's going on.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So all that to say, I was spitballing so many. And I'm like, what about me, Perris?
And I did. She didn't like them.
Well, say one. Do you remember one of them?
I said, warning, don't approach unless you come with chocolate.
And like, okay, that's fine. I like chocolate, but like...
Then we kind of figured out that was warning signs from her to me directly.
Yeah.
So, or warning, don't talk to me. I haven't had coffee yet.
That's fair. But I think it needs to just be like, warning, I've not consumed coffee, is the warning sign.
Got it.
I think that's what it is. You're putting too much oomph on it, and it's like, it's not giving the same effect.
It's too many words.
Too many words. Straight to the point.
Right. So I did say, this is what I have. Warning, don't always take my smile as being everything is okay.
Your face.
And that's the only one I came up with.
No, that's a good one. I think that, but I think the warning, you've said it a little wrong. It should be, just because I'm smiling doesn't mean everything's okay.
No, I like...
Yours is so wordy.
Warning, don't always take my smile as being everything is okay.
Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up. I didn't know if we actually wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, no, that was funny. That was funny.
I did. So...
You got a couple more questions for me?
No. I've got nothing else for you.
Got nothing?
I do want to talk about Traitors.
Oh, all right, let's talk Traitors.
So, yeah, as I said, we release every Thursday, or every other Thursday.
Yeah.
So we will always have a moment to talk about the episode.
We will always have a Traitors segment.
Literally, until it's over, which I think is coming to an end.
Yeah, this previous episode, we were left on a cliffhanger.
Big cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Not going to spoil anything.
Can't spoil it.
But the deciding vote for banishment, they didn't show it.
Yeah.
So if you're up to date, you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And we don't know who is being banished. No. And it's
between...
It's a pretty... Don't say, because that'll let people know where they're at in the episode.
Am I able to say it's between a traitor and a faithful? I wasn't going to say names
specifically. Oh, okay. It's between... Yeah. No, they're between two traitors. Oh, no, it is. It's between a traitor and a faithful.
And a faithful, yeah.
You're so right. You're so right. Yeah, so it's pretty intense because it's just like anything could happen.
Anything could happen.
And I think this season, we always like to say if we want the traitors to win or the faithfuls to win.
Yeah.
And I think this season, I'm leaning towards, now that what has transpired, I think I'm leaning towards a faithful win.
I'm leaning toward a faithful win too.
Only because this season of Traitors, they've just been so chaotic. They've never been on the same page. They've always been against each other. Like they're traitors to themselves.
And it's crazy because the group that were first initiated as the Traitors,
they started off amazing.
Potential.
Like Bob the drag queen.
Yeah.
They would have had to watch that back.
No, I'm not. I'm reacting to the.
I thought you were saying like
No.
The moment Bob the drag queen left, literally went to shambles.
Yeah.
And
everything was
they were never the same.
Nope.
And I think they were just always playing like fixing mode. And I mean, I guess in a way it made it very chaotic for the faithfuls to understand what was going on, and that might be why everything's been going how it's been going.
Because they were doing, not to cut you off, but
ahead.
They were doing weird murders. So
none of them made sense.
After Bob the drag queen was voted off, their they couldn't agree to who to murder.
Yeah, none of them were on the same page.
And it was just like, wait, why are you murdering him or her when you should actually keep them alive? But every time a faithful alluded to somebody being a traitor, they wanted to get rid of him. And it was just like, no, you can't.
And it's one of those things where I feel like every single traitor in this season has had their own agenda to make themselves get to the end, which every right to. Yeah. But I feel like that only comes into play when you're like really down to the last little bit. But like they started doing that in like episode 3 or 4. And I'm like, guys, you have to work together if like anyone wants to make it to the end.
My question and final question before we get out of here for you is, given the circumstances, let's say that the traitor doesn't get voted out.
Okay.
And the traitors
do one more murder.
Murder. Or not even, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think the traitors will stick together to the end, or they will sabotage?
I don't think they can.
Wait,
because,
really?
Yeah, because there's no more recruiting. The recruiting's done.
Okay.
The faithfuls know a traitor is still there. They're not going to end the game knowing that there's a traitor in place.
And they're convinced that it is the amount that it really is.
I don't know if they're convinced it's two, but they know that there's at least one. So I think none of them will end.
No. One of the faithfuls at the round table said,
two.
I think there's two left, and I think both of them are women.
I think that was before the most recent traitor left.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Well, the most recent. Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're right.
So
Yeah.
I think they think there's one left now.
Okay.
And so the game won't end until one more traitor's out. So if the traitor leaves now, like from this most recent banishment, then I think all the faithfuls will think the game is over and they're good to go.
They may not vote out one of the traitors. They might think it's one of the faithfuls, and two of the traitors are standing.
Well, that's
my question though.
Okay, so that
Do
would be an
you think both
alternative.
traitors will decide to try and make it to the end together?
The only way for that to happen is if they are able to continue to sabotage and get more faithfuls out where they have the majority votes.
Copy.
But that's a very hard place to be with only two traitors left.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. But again, I think for this season, I want the faithfuls to win.
Yeah, me too.
Like, for example, when we were talking about the Australian season 2, I wanted the traitors to win.
No, we didn't.
Oh, didn't we?
We wanted the faithfuls to win.
Oh, because the traitors were annoying?
The traitors were, because
no, the faithfuls were stupid. Oh, crap, you're so right.
He was trying to kill all the. Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're right.
It just, the way that it ended, we were glad that the
It
traitors
ended that
did
way.
win
Yeah, you're
the way they won. No,
Yeah, anyway, so I'm excited to see how it ends.
Yeah.
I will say this is probably the first season that we've watched in time with it being released.
Yeah,
which is kind
weird.
of fun because I'll see things pop up on Reels and TikToks and everything, and I don't feel scared watching it because I've seen the episode.
Yeah. We were watching, I know I said we're going to end. We were watching Love Island All-Stars season 2. Mm-hmm. Are we going to go back and watch season 1?
I kind of do. I didn't realize it was going to be that good.
Yeah, it was really, it was probably more drama than
a little bit. They don't do Casa anymore, which was annoying because I kind of love Casa, but it wouldn't make sense to do Casa.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should. Yeah. Maybe that can be our next thing to watch.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, y'all.
Great episode.
Yeah, great
episode.
episode
18. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe.
For sure.
Again, thank you for tuning in.
Definitely. See y'all next time.
Bye-bye.